Mauritius has been able, over the years, to position itself as a safe haven for investment. You will have several companies that are operating in other national jurisdictions, but they are registered and domiciled in Mauritius. How did you, as a country, manage to achieve that over the years?
Okay. I think there's a whole storytelling behind that, and things didn't happen overnight, right? Mauritius is a small country, limited resources, but what we have always kept as a motto is bringing value, bringing substance, and bringing certainty to investors. You know, like the ease of doing business, we've managed to be first in the World Bank ranking in Africa, and even being in the top 13 from international level. So that gives credibility. And how do you do that? You do that when you come forward with policies, with regulations, with private sector support in structuring projects in Mauritius. This is the first thing. So, and then you can see how the economic landscape has evolved. You know, Mauritius started as a sugarcane producing countries, right? And today what agro-industry represents in Mauritius is only 3%. So we started as agriculture, we diversified then into manufacturing and tourism, and then we saw that we need to keep on diversifying. We went into services. Today the financial services is 13% of the GDP. ICT represents 32,000 people working in the ICT sector. Manufacturing, we are one of the biggest exporters of products like textile and tuna. So this storytelling is all around business certainty, right policies, and also having intrinsic resources. And when I'm talking intrinsic resources, we don't have, or we have very limited natural resources. It is the human power, the human capital, the training. And also, you know, when people come, there's two things, investors, that they want to know.
Right.
Is to how to protect their investment, and to have protect investment, fiscal optimization, and what is the offtake. And there maybe I give you a few insights of how important it is. First, how you protect your investment. So it is all about administrative and regulatory certainty, right? So in Mauritius, we do have that kind of certainty that has been kept for years and years. Second, it's about fiscal certainty. So we have a very streamlined regime in terms of corporate taxes, in terms of taxes that are applied to individuals, for example. That is very clear, very structured, and schemes driven. And the third thing is about offtake, because what investors would like to know is that if you put your money, either you have a state-back certainty, or they want to know the market. Mauritius is an open market. So now you tell me that Mauritius, what is the size of Mauritius in terms of population, in terms of market? It's 1.3 million, it's not that big. But then we've negotiated with many countries to have free trade agreements. So today, with the different free trade agreements we have free trade agreements with 70% of the world population, around 5.8 billion population. So if you do business in Mauritius, you have a free trade market with India. You have a free trade market with China. You have free trade market through the AGOA with the United States, with the European Union, with the SADC, with COMESA. So this whole 360 degrees building of all the intrinsic requirement for a business, be it finance, be it fiscality, be it ease of doing business, certainty, and market accessibility, are all the package that Mauritius has been offering to be able to keep that competitive edge of business and that image that we have tried to build, despite the intrinsic, you know, complexities that are set with regard to our own intrinsic market and the distance from certain continents.
Perhaps as follow-up to that, you mentioned the aspect of ease of doing business. Mauritius ranks very high globally where the ease of doing business is concerned, as well as also even on the corruption perceptions index. It's one of those countries that are doing excellently well on the continent. May you speak to the ease of doing business and some of the strategies that you have implemented over the years that perhaps other African countries can take a leaf from for implementation?
Yeah, I think when we talk about ease of doing business, there are many aspects. First is the regulatory part. You need to have the regulatory certainty. So I think, you know, when we see businesses, and we believe, I mean, at least from the private sector perspective, and just before that I was working at the Economic Development Board, so I have both the hats of, you know, both segments. So we do believe in Mauritius that regulation should not be here to stifle. It should be compliant, but it should be opportunity driven. And I think that has been the strength of Mauritius, being a small country, that we have managed to review our regulations as and when required to be able to meet the requirements of businesses.